It is my honor to introduce Ambassador Yuri Kim as our commencement speaker. Yuri Kim arrived in Tirana as the U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of Albania in January 2020. She is both the first Korean-American woman to represent the United States as an ambassador and the first ambassador hailing from the U.S. territory of Guam. A career diplomat, Ambassador Kim has worked on key foreign policy and national security challenges across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. She was Director of Southern European Affairs, responsible for Turkey, Greece, Cyprus, and the broader Eastern Mediterranean region, as well as Director of the Office of European Security and Political Military Affairs, responsible for NATO and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE. She was also previously Chief of Staff to the Deputy Secretary of State and Director of the Center for the Study of the Conduct of Diplomacy. Earlier in her career, she was Special Assistant to Secretary Colin Powell, as well as Special Assistant to the Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs. Overseas assignments include Turkey, Iraq, the Republic of Korea, Japan, and China. Yuri Kim holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Pennsylvania and a Master of Philosophy from the University of Cambridge. Please join me in welcoming Ambassador Yuri Kim.
Dr. Kreis, distinguished guests and graduates, half a day from sunny Albania. I may be halfway around the world from you physically, but I am 100% with you in spirit. Thank you so much for inviting me to be your keynote speaker. It's an honor to be asked to help you celebrate your graduation from the University of Guam. That honor is made even more special because two of my siblings are UOG graduates, and one of them, my sister Rebecca, will soon be earning her Master of Science in Clinical Psychology from UOG. So thank you for including me. You are graduating at a pivotal moment in history. Technology is evolving at exponential rates with driverless cars and mobile communications bringing us together in many ways, but also heightening alienation in others. Even as technological advances speed along, nature has humbled us anew. We are in the midst of a pandemic that has afflicted more than 7 million people and killed more than 400,000 around the world, with dire consequences for our physical, emotional, and economic health. Meanwhile, the death of George Floyd under the knee of a police officer in Minneapolis has sparked outrage throughout our country and indeed around the world, and is forcing us to contend with profound questions about racism and injustice. It is a moment that offers tremendous challenge as well as opportunity. What does this mean for you? Well, that depends on you and the perspective you choose. The middle of nowhere or the hub of the Pacific? Hardship that derails you or a challenge that makes you stronger? The end of life as you know it or the beginning of a new chapter? It all depends on how you choose to see it. It depends on your choice of perspective. My father brought my family to Guam from South Korea in the 1970s. It was a time of challenge of the country where we were born, where freedom and opportunity were limited, and who you knew was more important than what you knew. Rather than simply bemoan the constraints imposed by circumstances over which he had no control, my father decided to take a chance. He applied for a green card and took his family to the only place in America he'd ever been to before, Guam. For our family, Guam represented the American dream. Guam in the 1970s wasn't exactly the America that most foreigners think of. No highways, no cowboys, definitely no skyscrapers. But it was America just as it was supposed to be. Warm, friendly, and full of possibility. Middle of nowhere or hub of the Pacific? We chose to see Guam as the hub of the Pacific. And so we put down roots and worked to grow our dream into reality. We started out in a single room up in Mighty, relying on neighbors to show us the ropes. We soon upgraded to a trailer house of our own on Alupang Beach. My father drove around for years in a rusty old pickup truck that had more holes than floor. Years later, when we were talking about the old days, my mother told me how she had cried one night when she had to break into my piggy bank to scrounge for gas money. So it wasn't always easy, but we stuck with it, got a little lucky, and built us a great life. You can imagine how proud we were when my father opened up his own business, Yuri Construction Company, engineers and builders. For 40 years, my father literally laid the foundations of family homes, helped businesses expand, and in the aftermath of the typhoons that tried to blow them all away, rebuilt them with stronger reinforcements. To this day, I cannot pass a construction site without thinking of my parents and their perseverance, their hard work, and their faith that we can always, always get back up. Hardship that derails you, or a challenge that makes you stronger? We chose to look on hardship as a challenge that made us stronger. There are challenges that are common to all of us. Most recently, all of you, like many around the world, have faced the unprecedented challenges posed by COVID-19. Each of us has probably also faced hardships of our own in our own lives. I have news for you. There will be more hardship coming your way. Life is like that. It spares no one. Some of the hardship you face will be evident to others. Some of them will be known only to you. Either way, you will have to decide what to do about it. Do you surrender to the hardship? Let it derail you? Let it stop you in your tracks? Or do you get back up and find a way over, under, through, around the obstacles that will inevitably come between you and your dream? I hope you choose the latter. I hope you choose to get back up no matter how many times life knocks you down. You will get bruised along the way, but every time you choose to get back up, you will get back up stronger and wiser than before. I have every confidence that you have it in you to keep getting back up. Your presence here, as proud graduates to be, is proof enough of that. And so we come to the end. Yes, thankfully, the end of my speech, but sadly, also the end of your time at the University of Guam. It is the end. It is the end of student life, the end of study groups over pizza, the end of field trips, the end of life as you might have known it for the last few years. No doubt, you will look back on these years with fondness. And while it is the end of a very special time in your lives, it's also the beginning of a new chapter. A chance to take all the knowledge you have gained during your time here and apply it in new ways. I am excited to think that here there are future doctors, nurses, teachers, store managers, salespeople, accountants, artists, biologists, maybe even a diplomat or two among you. So, is this the end of life as you know it, or the beginning of a new chapter? The answer is yes. It is the end of life as you know it, and it is also the beginning of a new chapter. Congratulations, class of 2020. I wish you all the best as you graduate. May you count yourself lucky to be in the hub of the Pacific. May you always choose to get back up, and may you seize your new beginning. God bless you on this special day. Thank you. Si Zeus Maasi.